It's the Chip and Lance Show with Chip and Lance.
Well, it's sad that Laura and the kids are holed up at our summer home. Kind of lonely being quarantined all alone. Hello? Hello? Of course, I guess there's a bright side to being alone for a few weeks. There's nobody to bug me, nobody to ask me to do things in peace and quiet. Say, actually, this might be kind of fun. I can get some work done and finally catch up on some quality TV shows. Oh boy, Masked Singer, here I come. You know something? Being alone all by myself is exactly what I want and need. This is gonna be kind of great. Yes, sir, being alone will be great. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Good news, Lance!
Dang it all, Chip, what are you doing here? More importantly, why'd you shatter my window? I got a door, you know.
There's a perfectly reasonable explanation for that, Lance. Anyway, I got good news!
Oh, for Pete's sake, Chip, what's your good news?
I figured out who Jack the Ripper was.
Uh-huh. You, Chip McGregory, solved that 100-plus year mystery. All right, Chip, who was Jack the Ripper?
Well, he was some sort of British murderer.
Chip, for the love of Pete.
Yeah, Lance.
You came all the way here to tell me that?
Oh, Lance, would I drive all the way across town to tell somebody something like that?
I don't know, Chip, would you?
Sure. Want to go right now?
Chip, you ain't supposed to leave the house during a quarantine.
What's a teen?
What's a teen?
Well, a teen is a human who's not a kid or an adult, Lance. Oh, everybody knows that.
No, Chip, quarantine.
A quarter teen? You mean a fourth of a teen?
How would you get a fourth of a teenager?
Well, that's a morbid question, Lance, but I suppose the answer would be a really sharp sword or maybe a chainsaw.
Quarantine, Chip, quarantine.
Oh, quarantine.
That's right, quarantine.
Like the quarantine rabbit.
No, Chip, that's the Velveteen Rabbit.
Where?
No, you're talking about the Velveteen Rabbit, Chip.
You're the one talking about him, Lance. I was just minding my own business.
I'm not talking about the Velveteen Rabbit, Chip.
But that's probably for the best, Lance. I hear he caused people diseases.
Now, disease is what I'm talking about, Chip.
Well, why'd you bring rabbits into it, Lance?
I didn't bring rabbits into it, Chip.
My lucky rabbit's foot is kind of like a quarter of a rabbit.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Or it would be if I cut it off, my lucky rabbit. But I wouldn't do that to Mr. Fluffers. You remember Mr. Fluffers, Lance? He's my boa constrictor. He likes his rabbits whole.
Dang it all, Chip. What on earth are you talking about?
You were telling me something about a libertine?
Quarantine, Chip. Quarantine. Not velveteen, not libertine, not saltine.
Ooh, a saltine with some peanut butter on it. That's what I want right now. Hey, Lance, can you put peanut butter on a quarantine?
No, Chip.
Well, you just have to eat it plain then?
No, Chip, you don't eat a quarantine.
Well, why not, Lance? Is it poisonous or something?
That's just a quarantine, Chip. Quarantine.
You mean the third largest city in Scotland, Lance?
No, Chip, that's Aberdeen.
You mean the thing that the weird lady and the Jean Jumper plays at church? Oh, everybody's embarrassed.
That's a tambourine, Chip.
You mean the great early church father whose work set the stage for Western philosophy and theology?
That's Augustine, Chip.
Oh, you mean the thing that cuts off heads?
Guillotine, Chip.
You mean a polymer used as a thermoplastic molding material?
Polypropylene, Chip.
Oh, you mean a civilian man shipping, transporting goods?
Oh, for Pete's sake, that's merchant marine.
You mean the statistical phenomenon that arises if a variable is extreme and...
Chip,
what?
That's regression toward the mean. Dang it all. I ain't talking about Philistines or olive greens or milking machines. I'm talking about quarantine. Quarantine, quarantine, quarantine.
Oh, well, Lance, what's a quarantine?
Oh, it's just a quarantine, Chip. Just quarantine.
Well, I should certainly hope it's just.
Okay, Chip. Here's what we're going to do right now. You're just going to shut your mouth, and you're going to keep your mouth shut. And while your mouth's shut, I'm going to explain to you what a quarantine is, and you just keep that mouth shut till I'm done explaining. Is that okay with you? Right now, there's a very serious sickness that's spreading across the world called the coronavirus. And in order to make sure that the coronavirus don't spread from person to person, well, we're all supposed to stay in our homes as much as we can so that we don't spread it to one another. Now, does that make sense, Chip? What was that? You can open your mouth now, Chip. And close it. You can open and close it, and you can say real words like a normal human being.
Well, no sooner said than done, Lance.
Now, what was it that you said?
Funny you should ask that, Lance. What I said was...
Dang it all, Chip. I meant, what did you want to say? Did you want to say something?
Well, let's see here.
You know what? Never mind. Here's the point. You need to go to your house and you need to stay there until this quarantine thing is over, Chip.
Sure thing, Lance. How long should I stay? 15 minutes? 20 minutes? 400 years?
So somewhere between those last two, Chip. It might be weeks, it might be months, it might even be longer. The fact is we don't know a lot about this coronavirus yet. What we do know is if we trust God, if we do what the authorities who are trying to protect us all tell us to do, well, that's our best shot at making things better in the long run.
Oh, that makes perfect sense to me, Lance.
That's good, Chip. Now, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go to the mall and give free hugs to everybody.
No, Chip.
Well, they're going to be scared, Lance. And so are my friends and family.
Well, there's plenty you can do for them from home, Chip. You don't need to go give them free hugs. You can call them on the phone or send them a text or an email or write a letter or talk to them on the computer.
Oh, I think I get it now, Lance.
Good. Now, so you tell me what you're going to do, Chip.
I'm going to go to the mall and give everybody free hugs and free beer, like Corona. Corona's a good beer. Get your Corona.
Okay, dang it. Chip. Maybe it's best you just stay here with me, Chip.
Well, for the whole Velveteen, Lance?
I suppose so, Chip. I'm mighty lonely, and I need somebody to keep me company.
Oh, well, all right, Lance. See, you're a good friend. Put her there, Lance.
No. Now we got to get you in the shower, Chip, and you got to wash them hands.
I gotta do what?
We'll explain all that later, Chip.
We will?
Yeah, sure. We're going to be talking about hygiene and cleanliness and how to behave inside the house. I know you're not used to that. And how to obey God and honor Him during times like this. All those things.
Well, those sound like some great things to talk about, Lance.
Before we get you in the shower, what were you going to tell me back when you couldn't talk?
I was going to say, oh yeah. Your broken window is being invaded by swarms of killer bees.
What?
I got him, Lance. I got him.
No, stay away from me.
Eat land bees.